Welcome, everybody. It is me, MBW Champion, and this is the Power On Webcast, aka Pow 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 Pow. And I want to welcome you to the fourth episode of this lovely, lovely show. Um, so we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna go ahead and go in, but just in case you guys are new to this, on the left-hand side over here, there are the topics. And if you're tuning in live, they're not clickable. But on Friday, when this episode gets updated to the internet, these will be clickable. So if you're watching it later, you can click on the left-hand side to jump straight to the topic if you don't want to hear about like the TNA lawsuit or something like that. But yes, I'm MBW Champion, and I make sketch comedies and video game topics. I do a lot of things. Perler beads. I do WWE thing. I dress up like Tim Cook and jump in pools. I do Freddy Firestone. The list can go on. But if you guys want to check out any of my playlists, again, MBW Champion is my YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it something that you would like, whether it's video games, backyard wrestling, the whole jam. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Chapters of Unova. So, if you guys don't know, um, back in the day, back in March of 2006, I released a game. It's a fan game called The Hero of Dreams, available only for Zelda Classic, and and I just loved making a fan game. Like I said last webcast, I think fan games are under like appreciated, especially the good ones. And I think that a lot of heart and just like ideas that are out of the ordinary, like they're so great to see like in fan games. And I am in this Zelda community called PeersEC.net, and they make Zelda fan games with this program called Zelda Classic. And I just love seeing all of the members come, and then I actually see them grow because I've been there since like 2004 or 2003, I believe, and I see all these creators like go from like totally noob, you seeing all their posts and you're just like, oh my God, what is going on here? But then you see them grow, and you see like the things that they can do. Like right now there's scripting, which is like programs that you could script into your video game to make make the engine a lot better. And some of the things are just so unique that these creators are making. It's just amazing to me. And what I wanted to talk about is Chapters of Unova is my it's not it's part of this the same storyline of the Hero of Dreams, so it's a sequel. Um, and I've been making it for probably over 10 years now. I didn't really start making it until 2 years ago, because I kept on like rebooting, or actually making the tile set and all that stuff. But I'm finally to a point, like where I can get this thing going, except the programming wise for making the enemies and making what's the other thing, the oh yeah, I'm trying to polish the cutscene situation, so that when I make something, I can just do it fast, because I can create a game really fast. And I'm actually thinking maybe I should maybe just make a side quest and just make a quick game just so that I can release it for you guys. But as far as this game, I want to get all the basics and all of the engine done before I start just making the game. I know a while back I said the gameplay engine is done and I'm going to start making it. And then I ran into the very beginning of the game has a lot of storyline. And I was like, oh man, I need to do a cutscene thing. And then I just couldn't figure it out. I pulled out my hair. I was so frustrated that and then I was moving. So I ended up just kind of going, I need a break from it. But back in I want to say the end of September. I picked it up again, and I've been actually been doing pretty good making my game. Like this week, I've been working on uh, completing a little bit more of the tile set. I redid a lot of the scripts, like organizing wise and stuff like that. But I still need help on enemies, and I still need help with the cutscenes. I'm going to be reaching out to ZeldaClassic.net about the cutscenes, and hopefully I can reach out to a few of my colleagues to help me with that. But once that's done, then I could finally make this. Like, look at, see, I made level one. Level one's basically completed. The only thing is just again, like text-wise, storyline-wise, like there's some stuff that I want to add in it. But level one's basically, completed in there. Um, I think, I really like the way it looks. I like the style. The tile set, it borrows a lot of things from a lot of things, but I created a lot of the tile set as well, palettes and all that stuff. It uses like every tile is 8-bit, and if you don't know the Zelda classic terminology, basically like there's C sets and you only have 16 colors to work with, but I recolored everything so you have a possibility of like 200 and well you can't really do all of them so it's like 230 colors basically. But the whole tile set's um, like 8-bit, the entire thing, Link, bad guys, everything. Um, Reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because I really want to nip it in the butt, and I really want to release this game. It's been a long time coming. I want to start, making the game like crazy. So, starting in my MBW Champion channel, starting in November, I'm going to be uh, coming back with the Inside Chapters series, where basically I dive into like stuff that's inside my game, Chapters of Unova, and I'm probably gonna do this like maybe I'm thinking like once every other month, or maybe like once a month. I'll see how I feel, but at least it's starting in November, and I want to start showing off the game again because I noticed when I was doing that last time, I was at least getting to a point where like, oh, I want to show off this. So let's go ahead and polish this really quick so I can show it off. Oh, the next month I'm showing this, so let's go ahead and polish something and show it off. So I was actually like working pretty well doing that. And then I was like, oh, I want to release this information, but I was like, I don't want to release it yet. And then that's why I stopped making the series. But I'll go ahead and start doing that again because the next episode was going to be about a script I had made like 2 years ago. So I won't spoil anything just so you guys can watch it. But that'll be coming soon in November, as well as the MBW Backyard Wrestling stuff. So hello, Mr. Troxiness and the Satellites. They have joined the chats, and how's it going? So let's go ahead and jump into the TNA lawsuit. If you guys are not familiar with TNA, it's basically the WWE's, I don't even know if you want to call them competition, but they're competition for WWE. It's another company that wrestlers wrestle on, and they have a lawsuit. And I don't know if you guys recognize this guy, but this is the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, and he purchased a little bit of the company, and it's so right now there's a lawsuit. Let me explain the lawsuit because it's so complicated, really crazy. But so Billy, Mr. Billy over here, he went to TNA, and because he's a longtime wrestling fan, he wants to have put his input into wrestling, wants to do all this stuff. So he lent TNA, and right here, this is Dixie Carter on the right-hand side. So they lent her money so that they can basically pay off some loans and stuff like that. And the common census, or like the census right now is, I believe TNA is they have more debt than profit at this point. So there's been a lot of companies that like bail them out and stuff like that. But Smashing Pumpkins guy, he comes and he comes and lends a whole bunch of money to them, and basically with a little stipulation saying, I want creative input, um, and this and that. So they do. They give him a little bit of creative input and stuff. But in August, they want more money. So like they do that. But at this point, when he's lending them money, he's getting more and more shares of the company. Like he's getting more of like owning the actual company. So I believe there was like a number thrown out, like basically like he should be owning like 40%. I don't know. That might be exaggerating, or at least he's supposed to be a big contributor to everything. What's happened, and this has been happening with TNA for a long time, is there's shady business going on. So Dixie Carter, she basically is doing negotiations. She is, not paying talent. The whole thing. Like wrestlers are leaving because like they're not getting paid and stuff like that. But so she's not, doing her job as an owner. She's horrible at it, by the way. Like we need to get her out of this wrestling business. Um, and this guy's the first person to call her out because she didn't include him in any of the stuff. She actually has, and she denies it apparently. But he actually has an email of her going to WWE basically about a potential purchase of TNA. Uh, so like purchasing, like selling the company basically, and he has no acknowledgement of this, and he is like basically the owner of TNA as well. So like they are excluding him with just management stuff like that. And to top it off, when he lent money to them, they said that they had a debt of this much, but it was actually like triple the amount. And he says that like, if that's the case, like I would have never lent them money. So right now there's a lawsuit going on, which is probably going to kill TNA, or at least because I want TNA to be there because I like competition. I just don't like Dixie Carter. So at least maybe we can get rid of Dixie Carter right here, right there. Um, if this whole thing happens where basically, you know, the judge goes, hey, this was the stipulation, so now he's going to have the majority of the company. Like I think the thing is, she would have to relinquish a lot of like the percentage of the company and give it to him, basically. If that's the case, and he becomes like the big owner and not her, get rid of her, then TNA actually could be, something else. Holy shit! Out of everybody that I have not seen in a long time, Child's Play Ninja has just joined the chat. What the heck? What is up? You never join my stuff. What the heck? And why'd you call? But yeah, so hopefully Dixie Carter is going to be out of this place, and that's my hopes, my wishes. But on the other hand, wouldn't it be cool to see TNA on the WWE network? I don't know. That's just me. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch actually only was revealed last week, which was feels like a day and a half. And by the way, just before I do this, I picked this picture because somebody made this look like a regular Nintendo. And just look at this. It just looks so beautiful. I know I didn't get a good image, but if they sold a retro-looking Nintendo Switch, this would be just freaking awesome. Like, what the hell? Like, Nintendo, do stuff like this. I don't get, like, I know that they're going to release one color when it comes out, or maybe two. Maybe it'll just be like a gray or a white one. But they should like do like different types of skin and stuff. I was seeing a Pikmin one. I was seeing Zelda. There's a lot of unique styles that they can do. But I know that they're going to want to sell it first, and then once it starts dipping down a little, just like how they do with the 3DS, then they release more colors and stuff like that. But damn it, it hurts me because I get it on the first day, the launch day, so it sucks. Ugh. But yeah, if I, they do I think was it the 3DS, the new 3DS? Didn't they have like one where you can take off the face plates and like re-put them on and stuff like that? That would be awesome if they did that for the Nintendo Switch with the Joy thing. So yes, everybody wants a Switch. I think it's gonna sell. And by the way, that's basically part of this topic. So Nintendo basically just they announced that they're not going to show anything for the rest of 2016, which is fine as long as they give us a date, and they did. So they said that January 12th, 2017, they're going to be saying specifics about the price. They're going to be saying specifics about the release date. Most likely launch titles. Didn't really say anything too much about that, but they're going to show more presentation stuff on January 12th, which is awesome. So, one of the things that when they said that they released some information about how much they think it's going to sell in quarter one, and they said 2 million units sold in quarter one. And everybody's flipping out. Everybody's just like, "Oh my God, the Wii U sold 2 million in their first quarter that they were released." And everybody's like, "Oh my God, Nintendo thinks it's going to be doomed. They hate it, and blah blah blah." This is not true. I just want to say that first off. Like the Nintendo Wii U was released in November. I want to say it was 19th, 19th or 18th. And when it was released, they had a month and a half during Christmas time, the booming season, a month and a half of days to sell 2 million copies. Whereas we don't even know the launch date for the Nintendo Switch, and it might be released in the beginning of March, might be released in the end of March, or most likely it's going to be done like on the 11th or something like that, like so in the middle of March. So if you think about it, and quarter one ends in March 31st, let's just say 3 weeks. It's released 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, they sell 2 million units. I think that's freaking impressive. To me, so the Wii U is released the 18th, by the way. Man, I was close. Actually, that was my second guess. So, bam, boom, boom, bam. But yeah, 3 weeks for 2 million units. I think that's incredible. I don't know. It just might be me, and I just might be stupid or something, but I think that's a great number. Anything higher, I don't think that they're going to sell anything higher than that, honestly. But quarter two, I think if they continue going that route, I think that they can do a pretty good launch. Like say for example, let's just daydream about the launch titles and stuff like that. I am pretty sure that The Legend of Zelda is a launch title. I think it's confirmed. They didn't confirm it, but that's pretty much confirmed. Day one, it's going to come out, and that's the game that I want. Now, Mario, everybody thinks that there's going to be a Mario game released during this time. I think I might be the only one, but I don't think that they should release a Mario game on the launch, unless it's a 2D Mario. But 3D Mario, I don't think that they should release it the launch date. Reason why is because, say for example, if all these games come in, let's just say Metroid, Mario, Zelda, and I don't know, Super Smash Bros. Comes out all in the same day. What's going to end up happening is, of course, all the gamers like me, we're going to buy all four of them. We're going to love them. And this and that. But casual people or just people that can't afford every single game, they're only going to buy like one or two games at most. And usually when it's parents buying it, they're going to buy some sort of like multiplayer game or something like that, like something cheaper that's not all the way to $60, maybe like a $50 game or a $40 game, depending on how the prices are, if the price is right. So, if everybody's going to get Zelda, I really think that there needs to be another like genre, not like a gamer one. There needs to be something. Um, I don't know, kind of like Wii Sports, it's type of thing. And just three of them though. Like I think there should be three good launch titles, but I really think it's gonna affect the sales for Mario. I think that would hurt it. So in my opinion, I think that they should wait for Mario's release to be until April or May, June. Um, I think that they should prolong it a little bit because if I buy Mario and I buy Zelda, I'm gonna be playing Zelda. Let's just face it. The time that's not gonna be played with Mario is gonna be significant because I'm gonna be playing the Breath of the Wild. That's just me. Um, and I think Nintendo knows that. So I think that they're gonna have a good launch year because I do believe that Mario and Zelda are going to be coming out in the first year. Um, Most likely, they're going to have, in my opinion, this is my guess, but I think Metroid is going to be released later in the year, probably like August or November, like around that time period. I don't think uh, Mario Kart's going to be coming out this year. I do not think that thing that you saw on the trailer, to me that was just like a like a what if, kind of like like when they show like presentations and stuff like that. I don't think those are actual game footage of like a game that they're like creating. I think Super Smash Bros. That's a different genre. I think that could be a launch title, totally different from Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild, and then if people come over, you can play a multiplayer game, which is Super Smash Brothers. And of course, if you want the games that are made for all the casuals and stuff like that, we have like a Wii Sports-ish type thing. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna have a pretty good lineup, which is great. And if it starts with Zelda, who cares? This is gonna be awesome. Um, so one thing I wanted to mention, because before I was starting this stream, I read something on the internet saying that the Nintendo Switch is going to have, or it's going to be like diagonal to diagonal. It's going to be 6.2 inches, and it's going to have 720 multi-touch screen, or 720p and multi-touch screen. Um, and these are the same sources that leaked the original controller thing. So, if the credible, controllers, going like that, and everything that they said that was exactly true, and this is the same source, then most likely these are all definitely true. So, let's just say this. Let's just imagine this is fact. 720, and it's a multi-touch screen. Multi-touch screen, I think that's great. Um, Sorry, I'm going back really quick. I noticed the chat closed down. So, so the multi-touch screen is is something new that Nintendo hasn't done, and people are gonna be saying, I don't think that this has touchscreen because they didn't show it in the trailer. Um, in my opinion, why would they show it in the trailer? It's just going to be another thing to explain. Right now, they wanted to show the concept, which is, it's a handheld. You could take it on the go, but you can hook it up to your TV. You could take out the controllers and do different things with it. You can play, this way, play it this way, play it that way. It was just a concept to show like what the concept is. Now, other things that are in it, it would have been, another minute to explain that this has touchscreen and that it's not functional when you play it on the TV. But what's cool about this is we have touchscreen on the Wii U, we have it on the DS, but we don't have multi-touch screen, which is like what our phones have, which if you don't know what multi-touch screen is, basically, like if you want to like zoom in, you go like this, or zoom in, zoom out. If you do two fingers instead of one finger, it reacts differently. So depending on like if you do this, you could stroll faster, or maybe if you put your whole hand and go like this, then it, maybe it'll start recording or something like that. I don't know. They could do different things, but I think that would be awesome, and I think it's the best way to go about it. It's, having touchscreen is not as expensive as it was back in the day, and to me, the system calls for it. I don't think that they should neglect not having touchscreen, and especially if they want to do any uh, like virtual console games for the DS or 3DS or even Wii U. Um, Actually, they can't really do it to the Wii U because you need two screens then. Stupid Wii U. Um, but if they wanted to do that sort of thing, then it would be, it's right in line if they continue on that path. Um, I don't necessarily think they need the multi touch, but if they do, it's a good evolution to it. But what I like is they didn't show it in the trailer, meaning that they're not really focused entirely on that. So most of the games that you're going to be seeing, they're not going to be really using those features. It's just going to be for those one-off games that like want to use the features. Like, so say for example, if they release a Mario Maker, so you make your games on the handheld, not really doing it on the TV, but when you want to play the games, play the things, then that's when you switch it to the TV. I think that would work out perfect, especially because, um, you know, Mario Maker was made for a touchscreen, and if it doesn't have a touchscreen, I wouldn't want to do the tiles, based on a joystick. I don't think it would work very well. Um, so that's my prediction. I think that this is pretty legitimate. Um, the whole, and again, it could be just an educated guess because just based on like what we were seeing, I think 6.2 inches is actually like pretty on par on what we're looking at. 720 is where I think Nintendo would be at, just so that they can keep the machine cheap. Multi-touch, that's the only one I'm kind of like, I don't know if they're going to do entirely that. I know that they're going to do touchscreen, but multi-touch, I'm not sure. But again, it's the best evolution that they could go for that. But again, we won't be seeing all this confirmation or anything until January. So sorry, we have to wait until then. Um, but we'll discuss things here and there, and perhaps they're waiting because maybe there is a new feature that we haven't seen. Like maybe it's not just those joy pads that they have. Maybe there's extra attachments that you can put in there, and I could see them doing that. Like basically, have like this one, but then the right one you can change it into. I can't even think of something like a one that has touchpad or something like that. I don't know. They're going to do something with those interchangeable things, because to me that falls right in line with the whole Switch mentality. So I wonder about Mario Kart. Basically, it was Mario Kart 8, but with King Boo. So I don't doubt that they're making a Mario Kart game, but I don't know if what we saw was actual games that are being like that are officially released. Like I think that they went into the Mario Kart 8 code and they started modifying it a little bit, seeing like experiments, like to see what that they can do and stuff like that, so that when they eventually make a game or like polish to make a game, they're really just making the same code but just upping the graphics, upping all the features and stuff like that. So having that as a starting point, I think that's a pretty good idea. And I think that they wanted to just show that it's not just playing a Wii U game. Seeing King Boo and knowing that he's not in Mario Kart 8 actually kind of just shows the fact that, hey, this is running on this actual machine. kind of like Splatoon with the hairstyles and stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily saying that it's confirmed that there's a part two, but I think that there is a team creating it. So, of course, there is going to be one, but I don't know if it's going to be like a remake or an addition to it. That's not what I'm really seeing or what I believe right now. But as far as Mario and Zelda, those are pretty much confirmed right there. But the other third-party games, those were just tech demos. So just like I'm thinking that the Mario Kart was. So, anyways, we'll talk more about the Switch as the rumors pour in. But let's go ahead and talk about some Hell in the Cell predictions. So WWE Hell in the Cell is. Let me just see the matches, just so I don't forget any matches. But Hell in the Cell is coming out in, or is on Sunday. So if you guys want to see it on Sunday, it's on the WWE Network, $9.99, guys. Currently, they might raise the prices later. Actually, let me get some drink out of my MBW. MBW water. So good. So, Hell in the Cell. It's a triple main event. 3 main events in one. Let's go ahead and start with the mid-carders. So we have a 6-man cruiserweight. Oh my god, is this beeping really? I don't want this to turn off on me. Hold on one second. I knew the battery was low. I didn't know it was that low. Damn it. Hello, ePad. How's it going? So, 6-man cruiserweight action. I don't really think this match matters, really. It's just still establishing the cruiserweights. Because it doesn't matter, the baby faces are going to win. Who are the baby faces? Because they've changed them out. We have, oh my god, I don't even know their names. I still don't even know their names. Cedric Alexander's team and the 2 Luchador ones. I want to say it's Sin Cara and, what's his name, Lance? I can't remember. Right now, they haven't really established too much of the bottom portion of the cruiserweights, but Cedric Alexander's team is going to win because that's just the way the ball's going to roll. So Bayley and Dana is going to face off, and my prediction is Bayley is going to do the Bayley to belly, and that's all she wrote. I don't see Dana winning at all, unless what if Emmalina interrupts and causes Bayley to lose the match. If that's the case, then maybe you can go the other way. It'd be a good way to introduce Emma, and then she has a feud going on with Bayley right away. I think that'd be good. But then who would Sasha go towards? Like for Survivor Series, maybe Nia Jax. She's not doing anything currently. Because do we really want to see Charlotte again? Unless they keep them, you know what they'll probably do? They'll probably have the 5 women Survivor Series match and have Sasha in it, so she's probably not going to be defending in Survivor Series. That's probably how they're going to do that. Okay. Anyways, wait. So rumor on how there's going to be tiered prices for WWE. Oh yeah, I talked about that on, was it 2 episodes ago? 2 episodes ago. I talked about the rumored tiered prices, and it's because they sent out a survey saying that, would you buy WWE Network for $15, $20 if we include TNA and ROH wrestling? Like it was like, wait, are they striking a deal where you're actually going to be able to see or to view like their history matches? Like that would be awesome in my opinion. At least they could still be an independent company, but WWE just be the network that they can air it on. I think that would be fucking awesome. and it'd be good for WWE too. They like have an independent company making content, and people are buying the thing to watch that content on their channel. They don't even have to do anything. Great. Yeah. I think Nia Jax would be a good champion, in my opinion. I think Nia Jax. I don't think she's quite ready, in my opinion. So if they do end up fighting at, let's just say they fight at Survivor Series, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to be that 5-woman tag match. But if they did fight, I don't think Nia Jax is quite ready. She's not totally over, but she's definitely capable of. So I would say by next year, maybe even like right after WrestleMania, she's going to be pretty big into the storylines, in my opinion. And I think, rightfully so. But yeah, so yes, Bayley is going to kick Dana's ass unless Emma wants to get involved. And Emma, hey, she's fucking hot, so she could do what she wants. Cesaro and Sheamus versus New Day. Oh my god, that's the one match that I'm like, oh my god, because I actually want to see the New Day, break the title reign because they're an awesome tag team. But out of all the tag teams to come in and feud against them, I actually think Cesaro and Sheamus would actually make perfect sense as champions because it's kind of like the Daniel Bryan and Kane situation. Now, I don't know if I haven't really talked to you guys about the whole Daniel Bryan situation regarding his run on, like they were saying that they don't give him any storylines, he's not big because they don't give him the chance and stuff like that. I do believe that's somewhat true, but at the same time, because they're definitely not giving him like the power horse of like Roman Reigns and saying, hey, we're gonna shove you in your face and like you're gonna want to like just throw up with the amount of Roman Reigns that we shove down your mouth. Uh, Now they never did that to Daniel Bryan, but I don't think necessarily they did a bad job with Daniel Bryan. So obviously the moment that he took off was when he won the World Championship against The Miz, and he pinned him and did the whole celebrating. He didn't do the yes thing yet, but like he was basically like yeah, oh my god, yeah, and so he was a bad guy at the time, and it was just great because he was coming out winning matches against Mark Henry and Big Show, and he's just celebrating. Even though if it was like disqualification, he is celebrating like he won the World Cup or something. Like he is in the audience, he is like, or like on top of the announce table, and he's just like, yes, yes, and they put him with AJ, so like they had AJ being the good guy at the time, and him being such a bad guy, and like basically like he's deceiving her, like oh, I like you, but you need to interrupt in matches more or something. Like he was, it was that whole dynamic, and I thought it was great, great storyline. I I was pissed off that he lost, against Sheamus in 18 seconds. But storyline wise, he evolved like crazy. Like so, he did that. He became world champion. Afterwards, he was feuding against CM Punk. Had a great feud, and the whole AJ Lee's storyline like was just great. And then he went to Kane, and that's when he started. They went to anger management and stuff like that. If you notice, and what I like about Daniel Bryan's is basically he went from like being them not giving him anything, and then him like taking advantage of like a celebration, being awesome at it, doing the storyline where he's deceiving AJ Lee, him complaining about losing in 18 seconds, going to CM Punk, the whole AJ saga, going to Kane, this whole interaction, he is changing. So every month he has like a different like storyline. It was something different. And then him and Kane start going, no, I'm the tag team champion. No, I'm the tag team champion. And then they go from there to, actually like this a little bit more forward, but going against John Cena. And then from there going against the Authority, only for a couple months later for him to take down the Authority. I thought the evolution of how his character went was great. And the reason why I bring this up is because it kind of reminds me of Cesaro, where Cesaro is in that position right now where they're giving him a chance to come up with characters. So like him and Sheamus did great in the best out of seven series, and now Cesaro is having this. In my opinion, it's a good change for Cesaro because he can't be the same stale character that he's been for in a long time, Dolph Ziggler. He needs to change it up a little bit. So having him interact with Sheamus in these ways, I think that this is going to be only good for him. So him being a champion with Sheamus would be great. Now, should they do it now? I don't know if they should pull the plug on it now because I really want New Day to break the record, but I don't know. Out of all the tag teams, I think they would be the ones to do it. So my prediction is Sheamus and Cesaro win the championships so that we could see great. I'm hopefully the writers do a great job, but so that we could see great interactions with the team of Cesaro and Sheamus hating each other still, even though that they're champions, only to have Sheamus and Cesaro break up, and Cesaro, getting the better end of it, winning at Money in the Bank, and soon winning the world title. I think that's pretty much, the way that I'm going it. But I really like New Day. And, I like the club, but I don't think it's their time yet. And I think they lost steam ever since AJ Styles left. AJ Styles, if they would have won it during the whole AJ Styles thing, I think that would have been awesome. But they're still trying to find their footing. They're doing good talking wise, but there's something missing with them, and I think they haven't really got over in their in-ring stuff. Like they are talented in ring, but I don't know if the audience has caught up to them yet. So I think that they just need a little bit more time, and then I think they're going to be good tag champions, and I think they'd probably be the ones to win it from Sheamus and Cesaro. MBW water, it's so good. So yeah, we have the triple main event, or actually, match I just forgot. Um, Daniel, Brian Kendrick versus T.J. Perkins. By the way, T.J. Perkins is awesome with his Mega Man music. I just love it. Um, Sheamus does have a nice beard. Um, T.J. Perkins, he's still in the storyline that I want if I ever go to WWE because they're gonna sign me next month. Just kidding. Um, I love his Mega Man entrance, and he's really taken off with the crowd, in my opinion. The only thing that I wish that they kind of toned down on is his video game references, because they come off as like very scripted. Like if they came out like very flowing, I would see, but when he says like, "Hey, can you pause for a second?" Like, or what did he say? Like, do you remember that one time when we were on a road trip and my Nintendo 64 broke and then you went to go buy me another Nintendo 64? What the hell? Don't talk about Nintendo 64. Like what this is like what the heck is that? I don't know. Um so I think they should kind of get away from that. But as far as who should win this, I love the Brian Kendrick. I think he would be a good champion, but I don't think it's time for TJ to lose his momentum. I think he's doing a good job as the champion, and I do think that he's going to continue, um, in my opinion. And I think hopefully maybe they can do a match against like Grand Metalik again. Um, I think after this Hell in a Cell, they're probably going to introduce at least maybe one more cruiserweight, and maybe it's going to be Jack Gallagher, which freaking awesome. That was like the one guy that like stood out like during that whole like cruiserweight show was Jack Gallagher. I think he's going to be awesome. As far as Hell in a Cell matches, we have Roman Reigns versus Rusev. I think I'm with like all the guy uh, big wrestling fans. I like. Don't get me wrong. I like Roman Reigns. I like Rusev. This storyline's just not doing anything for me. I think Rusev is doing pretty good. He's talking a lot more. He's a lot more confident on the mic. But the storyline just, I don't know, it's just boring to me. We've seen them, feud for like, I think since July. And I don't know, we know Roman Reigns is going to win. So, period. So that's my prediction. Roman Reigns wins. So we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. But where's my Chris Jericho? You can't have not Chris Jericho on this. You just made the list. Anyways, I think that this match is going to be good. Hopefully nobody gets injured because Seth Rollins is in the match. Uh, but Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, they're going to put on a great match in my opinion. I think that they're stars putting on wrestling clinics. And let's see what Kevin Owens can do in a Hell in a Cell. I don't know if they're not going to allow him to do a couple things that probably he wants to do, but can you see him maybe putting Seth Rollins against the cage and then him doing a fucking cannonball to him? I think I could see that. I think this is going to be a good match, but I know that Chris Jericho is going to get involved somehow. I don't know how yet, but I don't think it's Kevin Owens' time to lose the belt. So hopefully, just hopefully, Kevin Owens retains. But at the same time, I can actually see like Chris Jericho costing him the belt. But I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens retains, so that maybe, just maybe, we could see Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens in Survivor Series. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's my prediction. Kevin Owens retains. But I don't think that should be the main event. I do not think that they should have the main event be ending with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. I think that the main event should go to Charlotte and Sasha. And I know it's just, people are just going to be like, oh, it's just because this is the first ever time women are going to be in Hell in a Cell. These two girls deserve it. They put on, such great matches together. They're awesome wrestlers. And I mean that in the biggest way possible. Like I don't consider them, like saying like, men versus girls. They're in the same league right now as the men. They're doing a fantastic job. And in my opinion, it's going to come sooner or later, the women main eventing. And why not just pull the plug now? Like, just do it now. They're going to be in a Hell in a Cell. They're going to have a good match. And I think it's the perfect time to do it, in my opinion. And then also you can get publicity out of it. If you're WWE, hey, the women actually main evented. The only bad thing is if they do it now, they lose the potential of them saying that, hey, the women's match is the main event, because to me that's a news line, headline, like basically like, oh my God, maybe I should get this pay-per-view because the women are headlining. I think that would be awesome. But I don't know. I'm actually a little bit more excited for this match more than Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. So that's why I think that it should be the main event, because it's actually the match that I would want to prefer to see in the main event. Now, who do I think is going to win? If it is main event, I could see Charlotte winning just so that they can have like the title change. But I don't know. I don't want to see Sasha lose it yet, especially if I'm just thinking, because then she wouldn't really have a rematch going into Survivor Series because they're going to be in that 5-way match. Wait, apparently Charlotte asked if she could do a moonsault from the fucking cage. Surprised she even considered it. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Uh, uh, what? And by the way, I noticed that you mentioned Paul London. I just wanted to touch on that. Paul London was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. I remember when I was doing my backyard wrestling, like he's the one that I would watch tapes on to like learn just creative ways of doing things. Like he always thought outside of the box, which I absolutely loved, and that's why I thought him and Spanky or to Brian Kendrick were really good at at the stuff because like they did things that like you didn't normally see, and I don't mean like different moves. I just mean like moves that look different. So like instead, when you do an arm bar, you just do the normal. Oh my God. Um, but them, they would, you know, I don't know, twist a different way, do a flip, kind of like Alex Shelley. Like I love watching his work just because he does interesting stuff. Like I remember he got out of an arm bar by biting somebody's finger and like reversing it out of there. I it's one of those things that I watch wrestling because I think it's like the best kind of performance art. It's art to me. The way that they put on matches and perform in front of people, it's just amazing to me how they do that, especially because it's live. Like they can't redo a take or anything like that. Like once it's done, it's done. It's my favorite performance art, and and to me, like I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, there we go. Because Paul London. To me, people that do things like in different ways, like just the way that it's formed, making it more realistic, or making it more silly, or making it more spooky. There's so many variations that you can do with a regular match. Like a regular match just being like you're just doing the normal bumps and stuff like that. Whereas if you add a little bit of flair into it, it comes out a lot better. I think that these girls, and I think it's probably have to do with Sarah Del Rey, or what's her name, the one that's training all the NXT girls. Ever since she started in NXT, training all these girls, I've noticed that every single girl has a different style, and I love that. That's been the major thing that's been coming out of NXT is that everybody has their unique style. Like look at Bayley. There is nobody like Bayley. That's why everybody gravitates to her so much because she does that character very well, and the moveset that she does, it fits her character. She's not doing anything that is outside of her character. Like that is her. Whereas Sasha, I actually like her bad guy persona a little bit more, but her good guy persona is awesome, and she knows she's bad. She knows she's the boss, and she, proves it by doing all these like, unique reversals and moves and stuff like that. And then Charlotte, the Queen Bee, she's fucking amazing. She's showing that she's not just the daughter of Ric Flair. She is actually a really good wrestler, and she's big, and she can do a whole bunch of moves, including moonsaults outside of the fucking ring. By the way, on that last one. So I don't know. I think that'd be pretty awesome to see is in the Hell in the Cell, like just what that they can come up with. And I really hope that Sarah is going to be helping them manage, because I think, is it Lita that does the managing on Raw, or like the agent wise? I think that they should fly Sarah in to do a little bit of like, like ideas and stuff for like this Hell in the Cell, because she's fucking knocking it out of the park with, all these people that have been coming up from NXT. Just great. But yes. So, prediction wise, I think Sasha retains. Like EPAD is saying, Sasha is she had lost the belt already in August, just regained it. But like I'm saying, if it's the main event, sometimes they just want that other factor of like, there was a title change, therefore history was made. So, because if they're doing main event, I can see them switching the title just so that it gets more notoriety on the internet. Basically, like in the first ever women's main event, we had a Hell in a Cell with two women that went at it, crazy moonsault off the cage, and title was changed. Like, that they can show that victory and like, oh my god. But I think the crowd favorite's going to win. Sasha, she has it in the bag. She's the boss. Um, I just want to read this because I just read something about the voice. So Sasha is a good wrestler, better as a heel. Definitely true. But her voice kind of makes her promos not as good. I don't know. Actually, and I don't know if you noticed, um, and you'll probably notice if you ever watch old things of Stephanie McMahon. I think that they purposely train these wrestlers to be whiny little bitches when they are heels. So like when they're a good guy, they have like the confident like I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna do this and that. Whereas if they're a heel, they're like I'm gonna do this and then this. Like for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Stephanie's voice cracks. Like I hate you, and like Vicky Guerrero, excuse me. Like every single person that's been a heel as a woman, they have like this most annoying voice. And right now, the perfect thing I could think of is what's her face, Carmella from SmackDown. She talks all normal, like oh this and that, and she talks normal in her Brooklyn accent. But as she became a bad guy, her voice just got super annoying. I don't know, like if it's just Vince McMahon's formula, but everybody's voices are just like so squeaky. Peyton Royce on NXT, her voice is so fucking annoying. It's ridiculous. And I know, like, her voice did not sound that way when she was a good guy. Like, what is up with that? I don't know. It's just maybe it's just like the training that they give them. Like if your voice is annoying, they will boo you. Therefore, you're a heel. I think that's probably one of the things that they do. But I think Charlotte in the beginning, she was not good at promos. Nowhere close to her dad. But as of right now, I think she's rocking it. I think she's doing really well on the mic. She seems more comfortable. The only thing is, sometimes like when she improvs, she kind of goes in different places, like not where it's supposed to go. Like usually, if you improv, you still want it to go in a line. Like her improvs kind of go everywhere, and some people get lost when she does that. Or like she interrupts like Sasha during Raw this Monday, and she'll interrupt them, and basically it throws everything off because of like what she said. Like I don't know. She needs to work on that, but as far as her promos, I think that they're pretty good lately. So, anyways, I'll go ahead and stop talking about Hell in a Cell predictions. Those were my predictions. Let's see how many I got right. Maybe next stream I'll talk about it. But I have 2 minutes. I'll answer any questions that you guys have. So questions for the champ from the champs. Let me get some more MBW water. But I will be watching Hell in a Cell. I don't know. Maybe I'll start doing like a little bit of reviews on Raw and SmackDown too. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I like this webcast stuff because I get to talk about a lot of subjects that I usually don't talk about on my channel. So, again, just a review. Chapters of Nova, we'll be seeing more of it coming in next month in November, as well as the MBW Backyard Wrestling makes a return in November. And Nintendo Switch, God, I love it. I love it. I want it now. I want to see. I want rumors to be true, and I just want to see everything. But at the same time, hey, 5 more months. 5 more months. Maybe even less than 5 months. Maybe it comes out in the beginning of March, so it could be 4 months. Oh, so good. Anyways, I'll go ahead and end this right here because I don't want to go over an hour. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my MBW Champion channel. Satellite just asked a question. So I'll do this one really quick and then I'll end it. But subscribe to my MBW Champion channel. Be a champ. Follow me. Follow me, guys. Anyways, what do you think about the little tease that Mario on the Mario trailer? Is it going to be like 64 Sunshine Galaxy or more like 3D Land or World? So, I really think that Nintendo, just based on the trailer, it seemed like they were really aiming towards the adults, the young adults, and they were really trying to focus on more not casuals, kind of casual, because there was a couple of the adult people that wouldn't really play games, but they seemed like they were going into more like these are actually gamers, like they would actually play games. Because of that, because of the way that they're marketing it, I'm actually foreseeing that their strategy going into this is that they're going to be trying to make games a little bit marketing for gamers. And because of that, I think the perfect route to go in would be the 64 Sunshine and Galaxy. Based on what we saw, that little Mexican, in my opinion, that was the hub. I think that's the overworld hub where you can jump into a painting or maybe he'll jump into piñatas. I don't know how they're going to do this. But I think that it more or less looked like a 64 like game, because if you notice, it looked like the MP3 or MP3s, the NPCs. It looked like you could talk to them, so it looks like that you can go around the town and talk to these Day of the Dead characters that are all around the town. It seems like that's how this one is being set up. So I approve of that. I don't think that they should do a 3D land slash world. To me, that's my least favorite. My favorite's the 3D, then the 2D, and then the 3D lands. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great games, but when you compare them side by side when you compare 3D World and 3D Land next to 64 Galaxy, especially Galaxy, and Sunshine, those ones blow it out of the water with its flood. It just goes. I don't know. To me, that's where it's leaning to, and it makes me so excited. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week, 6 p.m. Arizona time, next Thursday, to talk more about any subjects that happen during the week on the next Power On, guys. And you guys have a great day, good night, and of course, like and subscribe. Later.